Hi, welcome to the Crypto Republic. Before we begin today, if you're serious about staying ahead in this once-in-a-lifetime financial shift, make sure you like this video, drop a comment, and subscribe to the Crypto Republic. Hello, XRP Army, and welcome back to the Crypto Republic, your go-to channel for the latest high-energy updates in digital assets. Before we get started with today's business, make sure to smash that like button, ring that bell, and subscribe to the Crypto Republic, bringing you updates every day at 9 a.m., noon, and 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Ladies and gentlemen, right now behind the headlines, the foundation of our global financial system is quietly being upgraded. While most people are focused on the day-to-day market noise, the very rules of money are being rewritten. What if I told you the U.S. dollar's long-standing dominance is being challenged, and the world's major economic powers are already preparing for what comes next? Ladies and gentlemen, by the end of this video, you'll understand the three key assets I'm using to navigate this massive shift. This isn't about hype, it's about preparation. Let's connect the dots. Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to the Crypto Republic. If you're new here, my goal is to provide clear, well-researched analysis to help you understand the bigger picture in finance. So if that sounds good to you, make sure you subscribe. Today, we're taking an in-depth look into what I believe is the most significant financial transition of our lifetime. We're going to talk about the shifting role of the U.S. dollar, China's massive accumulation of gold, and a specific digital asset that I believe plays a crucial role in the future of finance. Ladies and gentlemen, my goal here is to share my personal strategy and research with you. This is about understanding the why behind the moves being made by central banks and governments. So let's get straight into the data. So my professional background is in traditional finance. For the longest time, I viewed cryptocurrencies with a lot of skepticism. My focus was always on hard assets, tangible things like gold, silver, soft and hard commodities. To me, that was real wealth. But a conversation I had a few years ago changed my perspective entirely. I was shocked. I was speaking with a client, someone deeply connected in the world of international finance, more of a mentor, and he had mentioned something that caught my attention. He talked about an internal model he'd heard about from the Bank of International Settlements, the central bank for central banks. He described the hypothetical valuation for XRP. I had no idea what XRP was. Not as a speculative coin, but as a necessary component for a future global settlement system. The number was staggering, but it wasn't the number itself that hooked me. It was the logic behind it. That conversation was a catalyst. It prompted me to spend thousands of hours researching. I started looking at XRP not as a random crypto, but as a potential piece of institutional finance infrastructure. I began acquiring a position when it was trading around 50 cents, not as a wild gamble, but as a calculated part of a diversified hedging strategy, right alongside my precious metals and soft and hard commodities. Okay, so my strategy is based on three observable trends happening right now, ladies and gentlemen. Number one, first, the evolving role of the U.S. dollar. For decades, the dollar has been the world's uncontested reserve currency. However, its share of global reserves is gradually declining. We can see this in the DYX index, fluctuations, and more importantly, in the actions of other nations. Geopolitical events have prompted many countries to seek alternatives to reduce their dependency on a single currency. This is a natural evolution, not a sudden collapse, ladies and gentlemen. Second, China's unprecedented move into gold. Let's look at the numbers. Officially, China reports holding around 2,200 tons of gold, but many analysts believe the number could be significantly higher. China is the world's top gold producer, and for years. It has not exported any of its domestic production. This massive accumulation suggests a long-term strategy to increase gold's role in its monetary system, providing stability and trust. Third, a potential monetary reset or upgrade. When you have these major shifts, the global financial system needs to adapt. I see two main paths for this evolution. Path A, a system where currencies are more explicit, backed by physical assets like gold. This is the path countries accumulating gold seem to be preparing for. Path B, a system that integrates new digital technologies for faster, more transparent, and more efficient transactions. This is where Western financial systems, which need to maintain a competitive edge, are heavily innovating. Now, what if the future isn't one or the other? What if it's a hybrid system? What if a digital asset designed for banking and settlement could serve as a modern, efficient bridge in this new framework? This is the thesis behind my interest in XRP and the Ripple ledger. So how do I translate this research into a personal investment strategy? First and foremost, let me be crystal clear. This is not financial advice. I am not sharing my personal approach for I am sharing my personal approach for educational purposes. You must always conduct your own research and make decisions based on your own financial situation. My strategy is built on diversification and hedging. 1. Physical gold and silver. This is my foundation, my insurance policy. I see it as a stable store of value that has stood the test of time. 2. XRP. This is my asymmetric opportunity. I view it as a functional utility asset designed for a future financial system. My initial investment has grown significantly, but I see it as potential as being tied to its adoption and utility, not just market speculation. The key takeaway here is to think critically. Don't listen to hype. Look at the official papers from the BIS research, the ISO 222 messaging standard, and the modernized global payments. And notice which digital assets are compliant. The facts are out there. We are living through a massive financial transition. These moments in history present incredible opportunities for those who are informed. The key is not to react to fear, but to react on education. Understanding these trends is the first step. That's why I create these videos. In my next one, I'm going to break down the technicals of the ISO 222 standard and explain exactly why it's so important for the future cross-border payments. It's a topic you absolutely need to understand. So if you found this breakdown helpful, please support the channel by hitting the like button. It really helps. And drop a comment below with your thoughts. And to make sure you don't miss that next video, hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Look, the financial world is complex and always changing. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, but you don't have to be. The goal is to be informed, ladies and gentlemen, not fearful. Be prepared, not panicked. By learning about these different assets, from traditional gold to innovative digital technologies, soft commodities, hard commodities, you empower yourself to make smarter decisions for your future. My strategy is clear. I'm hedged with time-tested assets and positioned for future innovation. What you do with this information is entirely up to you. My only advice is to never stop learning. Thank you for your time today. Once again, always, ladies and gentlemen, this content is for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be taken as financial advice. Always do your own research and consult a licensed financial advisor before making investment decisions. Remember, the game is changing, and those who understand it first will benefit most. Make sure you're on the right side of it. You have two choices. You can be like the crowd, reacting after the move, rationalizing why they missed it, telling themselves they'll never let it happen again, or you can be the one who saw behind the curtain, the one who understood the infrastructure shift, the one who positioned early, not randomly, but intentionally. Because some moments in history are loud, but the ones that change everything are quiet, right up until the moment they're not. And this is one of those moments. Do not blink, because the world is distracting you with noise, while XRP continues developing behind the scenes and building momentum in the broader digital asset landscape. Stay sharp, folks. Stay informed. Accumulate knowledge. Your move now will be remembered. This isn't the end of the story. This is just the beginning. If this opened your eyes, smash that like button, ring the bell, and leave a comment with your thoughts. Turn on notifications, and most importantly, subscribe to the Crypto Republic. We break down the major global banking trends, shaping digital assets today, giving you context, clarity, and research you can use. Don't just watch history happen. Stay informed, stay ahead, and stay in the Republic.